Hey guys, it's Dark Ember here. So I'm a little bit upset right now because I just lost some fantastic gameplay of me soloing the High Dragon on Nightmare. And what happened was, for some odd reason, my capture card just decided to freeze right before the fight of the High Dragon. And I realized this at around, when I was commentating, at around the 28-minute mark, and then the video just froze. And then I was just like, you know what, there really isn't much of a point to upload a video without showing the ending. Especially when it's a fight with the High Dragon on Nightmare solo. So I was, just kind of a little bit mad, so I just, decided to scrap the whole thing and not to upload it. So it would be kind of pointless, not to show the video or the ending with the High Dragon. Anyways, let's not talk about my personal problems because, no one wants to hear my personal problems. But, yeah, so this gameplay I play with complete random people. Now I really don't play with the open public that much. If it's on Perilous, on difficulties Perilous or below, I do play with random people just because it's really easy to solo it, and if someone leaves, it's not much of a big deal. But on Nightmare and Heartbreaker, I definitely do. I try not to play with random people. Because, I've played that with, I've played with many people, and I've had bad experiences with them, with the public, because, especially on Nightmare and Heartbreaker, because it's so hard to find a lobby that's actually good, to find people that know what they're doing, and won't quit in the middle of the game. It's just frustrating whenever that happens. So that's, kind of the reason why I like to play with friends most of the time, just because, they're more reliable, and I know them a little bit better, and for obvious reasons. But yeah, anyways, I'll try to upload a Nightmare gameplay, another Nightmare solo. Actually, I'll try to upload a Heartbreaker ability. Not ability, freaking Heartbreaker match, Jesus. It's currently 3:36 a.m. and the reason why I'm commentating so late is because my family's all up in the morning and throughout the day, and they are very loud, and I live in a one-story house, and you can hear my mother, all the way across from the other side of the house. Not really, but, she's usually in the kitchen, and she always needs me for everything, and she always, wants me to do chores and whatnot, and I just don't want her to interrupt the videos, and I know I can edit that out, but, I'd prefer to do this, midnight, just because it makes it a little bit easier for me to commentate. But yeah, so anyways, about that Heartbreaker gameplay, I will try to get some friends to do it with me, though I doubt I will be able to get a full lobby because, not many people are really up to the task of attempting Heartbreaker. I've only tried that twice in my life, Heartbreaker, and I died the very first room. And I also believe I was using a level 20 character on both times. Now this was right when the update came out. And the update for the new difficulties. I remember whenever they came out, everyone thought Heartbreaker, or not Heartbreaker, but Nightmare was possible, it was so hard. But now, honestly, in my opinion, it really isn't hard anymore. I have some matches where, I die once or twice before the High Dragon, but usually I'm pretty consistent. I get to the High Dragon, all the time. And whenever I do play Nightmare, I usually play with either the Legionnaire, the Templar, or the Elementalist. Usually the Elementalist, because I like using the Firestorm and the Fire Mine. God, I love using the Fire Mine. Sound effects are so cool, and it's so funny to see those guys just fly up in the air like popcorn. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so here's the Despair Demon. God, I hate those things. I freaking hate those things. I don't know about you guys, but that is my least favorite unit in the entire game. Now, I have a lot of units I do not like in this game, but the Despair Demon, is such a little bitch. You know, whenever you get next to it, it just flies away. You know, it spins away, actually. It just spins away, and then uses that dumb ice ability where it just throws you up in the air. And it has ridiculous range. It can literally attack. You can use that ability even when you're like 4 rooms away from the Despair Demon. So this ability right there, it can use that like, you know, you could be like I've had it happen to me where I was all the way in the spawn room and our Despair Demon was like 4 rooms away and it killed me, you know. I was AFK. I was like, what the heck, guys, how did I die? And they're like, oh yeah, Despair Demon got you. I'm like, okay, so y'all didn't bother to kill him? And they're like, oh, I thought you already know, you know, it has a limited range. And I'm just like, oh my god, that's right. So that's just one more annoying thing. That's one thing I really don't like about the Despair Demon. There's really nothing I like about the Despair Demon. What am I talking about? I hate it. But yeah, anyways, so here this Bogfisher are just going ham with it with my Dragon Rage. Just so much damage. I absolutely love Dragon Rage. And this sword, the only reason why I'm doing so well with the Reaver, why I do so well with the Reaver, is with this sword. I'm using the, like, Skywatcher's something, I don't know. It's an Avar type of sword. It's called Skywatcher something. And it does so much. The main attribute for this sword is, man, I cannot talk right now. The main reason why I use this sword is because it has a 26% heal on kill. Now I believe it is fully customizable. It has a rune, an empty rune, an empty grip, and whatnot. And I do believe I add a healing grip, which makes it up to 26%, which I don't think is the highest. I don't think I put the highest cloth on there to make it the highest amount. I think the highest is like 32%, but then I was just like, you know what, I already have that 10% heal on kill ring, and you know, I don't think I need that much. But honestly guys, there is no such thing as too much heal on kill, especially if you're playing on Nightmare, because your health can drain, you know, to nothing right before your eyes in a split second if you're caught off guard. Not even if you're caught off guard, if you're just playing normally and you're very cautious, you know, your health could just drain within just a few hits. But yeah, so my teammate dies, not sure how. I do believe I wasn't paying attention to him, honestly. And even if I could have revived him, even if he was right next to me, honestly, I don't think I would have revived him. Just because I remember, you know, right before this gameplay, I defeated High Dragon Nightmare. It wasn't the solo one that I was talking about earlier, but it took like an hour to defeat because of lag and all that, and we didn't even get a hack on weapons. So I was like, you know what, that was a huge waste of time. Which really is. Every time I kill the High Dragon on a Nightmare and I don't get a hack on weapon, it's like a slap in the face, you know, all that work, and then you don't get a reward. Kind of crappy, but you know, whatever. Speaking of which, I only have 2 hack on weapons. I have the 2-hand sword, which is called Hackons of Valor, which I honestly don't use that much, just because I really like the healing, the percent heal on kill on the Skywatchers, on the sword I'm using right now, the 2-hand sword, the Skywatcher sword. And the Hakon's Honor does not, you know, it doesn't come with any heal on kill. I believe I put a healing grip on it, which is only like 8% heal on kill. But honestly, that really is minimum. Yeah, I cannot last with that sword on Nightmare. On Perilous, sometimes, you know, sometimes I can survive with it, you know, but I've had much more success completing matches with this Skywatcher sword, 2-hand sword. But yeah, so I have the Hakon's Valor two-hand sword and the Hakon's Honor one-handed sword, which I am a huge fan of. That sword is freaking awesome. You can easily smack 600, 700, 800. I've even hit over 1,000 with that sword. And I believe that's with the Templar whenever I use the Blessed Blades, which grants like a 10-15% damage bonus. But yeah, I mean, I can still, you know, the Legionnaire can still smack like 800s, which is pretty freaking great, not gonna lie. I prefer axes over swords, just because axes, they do more DPS because they swing faster. Yeah, you hit faster with the axes. But you know, the Hakon's Honor, it's an exception. I like that weapon a lot. It's one of my personal favorites. So here we get to the Shrine Zone 5, and as you guys see quickly, the boss just freaking rapes us. Like, we don't die, we complete it, but you know, they just keep, you know, wrecking us. You know, the boss just keeps on spawning. It just keeps going into the ground and then spawns up in the same place. I believe that it happened to me twice in this gameplay, where the demon commander just goes away and it spawns right back up, just like it did right there. It does that like twice. Whenever it does that, it's so scary because you barely doesn't give you a chance to stand up. And so here, I believe I use both of my health potions, just because there was an awful amount of terrors, and they just kept spawning everywhere. It was, you know, it was pretty hectic. Now I do use my Untitled Fire here, which is like the very first time I ever used an Untitled Fire, honestly. I usually don't use many potions. The only potions I use are the Rock Tonic potion, the health potion obviously, and the health regeneration potion. Those are the only potions I use. I don't know why. I mean, I really don't find that the other potions do, you know, that much work for me. Like the pitch grenade, honestly, is a piece of crap. It doesn't do anything. It's not really that beneficial. It slows enemies down, but it's just like, oh, you know, okay. So honestly, I know you're supposed to use, you know, you're supposed to use it in the doorways. That's what many people